All right, welcome to week 14, the week before the final. And so this is more administrative than instructive because since we're at the final week, I want to make sure everybody's clear about what's going to be on the final next week and shoring up any part of the course that you may be missing some grades, missing on your part, doing any completion of deliverables. So here's the second page of the syllabus, and we see that here we are on April 15th. As you know, the week goes from Tuesday to Monday, and so in the syllabus I put the Tuesday dates on, and we agreed that we would have this Monday session, which is, instead of it being the last day of the previous week, we're making it the eve of the week coming up. So this is our 14th week video, if you will. And so tomorrow, 4/16, is when we're actually starting the week 14. So that ends next Monday. And then on next Tuesday is when we're actually going to have our midterm. Per the syllabus, I'm actually putting in the Tuesday dates here. So we're having our final next week, and there will be two parts to it. The SQL coding exam, which I will refer to in a minute, but mostly it's the part 2, which is the D2L, proctored and closed book exam. And that is cumulative. So notice it covers through chapters 1 through 4, 6, 7, 8, 10, 13, and part of 16. Again, use the weekly quiz. Use the weekly quizzes for the studying of this. I am going to be opening up all these quizzes for you to study from, since it is cumulative. And about a quarter of the test is based on the last 3 new chapters. 8 is a new chapter. That's SQL, though, the advanced SQL, dealing with subqueries and the new style joins, mostly. And there's going to only be around 10 questions out of the 130 or so questions on the exam next week, which is basically, if you do 3 questions a minute, is what you would like to shoot for. But even if you got bogged down and only did 2 questions per minute, that's when you're fighting the clock. So you want to shoot for 3 questions a minute, and that's why it's a timed test. So you'll be fine. You'll even be fine with 2 questions per minute. But that's on the D2L portion, which I'll call part 2. The SQL coding exam, notice it doesn't say proctored and closed book. That is going to be SQL that I will be asking you to do later this week, to be due on the Tuesday into the Dropbox. So you can do that at home against your personal Apex account. And so there won't be the timing issues that we had on the midterm, where some people didn't have enough time, and that's why I extended it. But we don't have that luxury this time around. So that's why this SQL coding part 1 will be non-proctored and non-closed book. Okay, and again, you'll see the specifics that come out on that as of Wednesday or Thursday of this week. Okay. And so you make sure your chapter tests 10, 13, and 16 are done. The announcement is that even chapter 8, and look to see if I've opened up even chapter 6, because there was a couple students who missed the deadline. So I am opening up not only 10, 13, and 16 for this week, but 8, 7, and 6. 7 was a longer one. I don't think anybody missed it. So if you don't see that open, it's because of that. And it shouldn't really be open, and these are one-time tests. So if you've already taken it, all what I just said is a moot point for you. But there's a few students who may have missed one along the way. So I'm opening those back up. So when you see it open, that's reason for that. But more importantly, I am opening up all weekly quizzes. I'm opening up all the weekly quizzes for all of these chapters that are going to be on the final. So you'll be noticing those are opening back up, and that's to prepare you so that you can prepare for next week's final, which I'm so hopeful that everyone will get a better score than what they got on the midterm or the pre-mid, because you'll be seeing similar questions that you saw before that we have been reinforcing in a lot of ways. You've been getting that much more comfortable with what data analysis through database coding and looking at data models and so forth, what that helps you with. So it's the new stuff that you really have to pay good attention to. And I'm going to give a different video on what to look for in the new material. So this is just the administrative side. Again, I'll say one last time, if you didn't do any of the weekly quizzes or the chapter tests, you will have up till this Sunday night to fulfill it. Okay, so make sure you're studied up as of Sunday night, and we're taking the test on Tuesday. On Tuesday will be the proctored final part 2. And on Monday night, you'll have the SQL coding done. So I'd rather have all the theory stuff closed as of Sunday night. You can have your SQL coding done by then is what I would shoot for. But if you had to use next Monday to ask me any questions, especially if there were any hiccups on your understanding of the SQL problem in any way, you can ask me that next week, being our last interactive instructor-student conference. Okay, that should do it for the administrative side.